Alright, so welcome everyone to our lesson that's called the simulating dry ice effect. Well, the dry ice effect is really going to be very fantastic and very fascinating kind of a thing. I'm pretty much sure that all of you must have seen the dry ice. If not, you're surely going to put your hands over it. So let me just gonna walk you with the dry ice effect. We're gonna do that effect with the help of the Maya fluids, but before we could get start with our visual effects course or with our technical course, I just want to have you to take an overview of the dry ice effect. So, what exactly is a dry ice? Well, in a very simple form, the dry ice is a solidified form of a carbon dioxide. Yes, the smoke which you're going to see inside the fascinating movies or in a cinematic effect, this is basically the solidified carbon dioxide. It's the cold smoke. By applying high pressure on carbon dioxide, these solid blocks of the dry ice can be created, which you can feel in the form of cubes or cuboids as a solid state. The dry ice can undergo a reaction called a sublimation. Now pay attention to the word is called sublimation. This is something which is very interesting. This is the state of reaction in which a substance, which is essentially a matter, is converted directly into gaseous state without getting or going through the passage of a first liquid, then converting itself to the gas state. So that is something very interesting we could have in the dry ice. The dry ice can exist at a temperature of minus 80 degrees or 78.5 degrees. So this is the reason why this is really going to be cold. All right. We have now discussed about the dry ice. Now, we are going to discuss the cinematic use of this element. I guess in many of the fantasy movies, the smoke that just appears, you can say, from an occult sort of a ball, or you can say from the big ball, it's basically the dry ice. And what makes that thing interesting more is that you're going to put some color inside that, and you can have sometime the red smoke, the green smoke coming out of it. That is basically the interesting form that's called the dry ice. We have seen this in the movies with special effects, and now we are heading towards the visual effects. Yes, that's the time we're going to create that effect inside the Maya. So why don't we do one thing? I'm going to take you inside the Maya fluid results and let you know that if we're going to put the cube or cuboid of the dry ice inside of water, what will going to come up? Okay, let's take a look at that. Alright, so here you can see that I have created a very simple scene. This is not basically our final render. I just have used a proxy object which I'm going to discuss with you in the upcoming lessons. And here is the result. So here you can see that how the dry ice is just popping out of the small ball, and you can see the impact of this, like the moment it'll gonna hit the surface, it just start moving towards getting very fast movements. So, and there's so many interesting things that we can observe inside the nature of the dry ice. First exactly is that the smoke is being, if you're going to recall that point, that dry ice exists at a temperature of minus 80 degrees, that clearly means that the smoke is really going to be a cold. And cold smoke, or you can say cool smoke, is always going to dip down. So that's the reason you can see that the dry ice, the moment it pop out from the ball, it is going to dip down. Okay. And I have tested some few more tests for you. And now just take a look at that also. All right. So here we go for. Now, if you're going to pay attention for the starting frames, you may could see that there is a sort of a pressure building inside this ball. But you may also can see that there are certain areas which are showing the leakage. We also going to address these issues also. But in our final render, we do not have such errors. Okay, so just feel free. And again, you can see that, this time I have tested out with some different emitter properties with some slight change inside the fluid parameters just to have a different form of a sense. And this is also pretty much cool. I can, I can experience the pressure of the dry ice over here. I can see the pressure of the dry ice over here also. So the moment it just comes out, it's very, very fantastic. Now it's time to take a look at our final render that I have got from this lesson, which we all gonna learn. You know, nothing fancy, but or just what I have did is that I have created this ball. I have given it some a little bit more better thing as compared to those flat renders and all. And if you're gonna play the timeline, you can see that that's the same smoke that I've created for the others two reaction, and again the dry ice just pops out from this occult ball. So the theme of our lesson is that we're going to use a sort of an occult ball, or you can say a magical ball, from which the dry ice is just going to come out of that. Okay, I think so, guys. You must have got the fair enough idea about the dry ice. Now it's time to take a look inside the Maya, and we should proceed with the lesson. Thank you.